Today's the day I get to go pick up my Bonafide RVR 119 from Big Adventures in Fletcher, North Carolina. I've been wanting to get this kayak for a while, but now I'm really wanting to get back into the rivers since it's almost summertime, so this is going to be the perfect kayak for me to target these rivers here in Western North Carolina and the areas around here. And after picking it up, I'll go through a couple of the features so you guys can kind of see why I decided to get this. If you are into fishing rivers, this is the perfect river kayak for you. But I'm going to go on in here and pick up this river kayak, so I'll see you guys here in a second. I just got back to the house here, so I just wanted to kind of show you the kayak before I really start going over some of the features in it. I'm not going to go over every single little feature on this kayak, but I'm going to go over the reasons why I decided to get the Bonafide RVR 119. This boat definitely has a lot of features on it, especially if you fish rivers. This is a really amazing kayak, but I'm just going to start here at the front and work my way back. There's a lot of different features up here on the front. But to just start off, right here, you can have some electronics coming through there if you wanted to. You can pretty much do anything that you really wanted to with it, depending on your needs and what you want for the kayak specifically. This right here is where you put the tips of your rods so you can organize them. And later on in the boat, you'll see where the butts of the rod go so you can kind of get an idea. But this is where the tips of them go, and you can also secure them down with this. You can also put like a dry bag right here, and this is like a good spot just to keep it like secure, because that's a pretty good strap on it, and you can get it as tight or as loose as you need it. And also right here at the front, you can see that there's a pretty good handle on it, and this is really useful if you want to like drag your kayak over rocks like you do in rivers, or like on sand, or really over anything, because it might be even a fallen tree that's across the water. You might have to drag your kayak over it. And this handle on it's really good. It has a nice good feel to it, and honestly it will make it easy dragging it. And this right here, as you can see, it spins pretty freely, and this is actually where you can attach like an anchor wizard. It's back there is where you actually put the device, but it can come out here on the front. All the cable for the anchor wizard is able to run internally through the kayak, which is really nice, and it is a very nice feature that they have. And it was one of the big reasons why I got this, because in the rivers, it's nice to actually just drop an anchor, especially whenever you're in current, so you can fish some eddies or really anywhere that you want. This is a very crucial thing to have. And I like how it's internal because it doesn't really get snagged as easy. So that was a big reason why I decided to buy this boat, or at least one of the main ones. And also, speaking about like the river kayak, you might have noticed that it has a very kind of strange shape to it compared to most kayaks. And the reason why that is so it actually tracks better whenever it is in current. So they decided to actually go with kind of more of like a drift boat design, which is really handy, especially whenever you are in current. And if you look up underneath here, I'll kind of lift it up so you can see. You can see how it's kind of like raised up, and that makes it to where you are able to go through the water, especially in currents, so much better. So you can go upstream and you can go downstream in this, which is a really useful feature. And that was one of the other reasons why I decided to buy this kayak. So coming right here to like the middle of the boat, right in front of the seat, you can see a couple things. So first things first, this is adjustable right here. So if you wanted to move this, you just move it back, because I'm pretty tall, so it's probably going to have to be pretty far back like that. And it's really easy to adjust. Doesn't really move around too much, but I can also kind of position it where I want it, and then just latch it with that little latch on the back right there. I really like the deck of the boat too. I really like this color that the kayak came in. This is probably one of my favorite colors that they make. And you also have some track mounts, so if you want to like mount anything, you can mount it on both sides right there, and there's also one in the middle here. But for the camera that I have, I've been like having it like in front of me. So I'm gonna actually mount something right here so I can have my camera just sticking up right here so it can look back at me. And that is a really useful feature, because this leads me into my next point. You can do pretty much anything you really want with this tripod right here. You can keep things dry throughout the day. A lot of people use it for like fish finders and stuff, and the really nice feature about this is you can remove it. So all you do is you just get it right there, and there's one around back right here. So then you just lift that up, and that's that. So I'll give you kind of a look inside here. That is how you unlatch it, is on the sides. And if you look in there, I know it's not really good lighting, but you can put your transducer down here. It has a spot where you can actually fit it in, which is really nice. Or you can actually make it to where it can be like a, you know, a dry area, because it has a pretty nice seal around the edge here that should keep things pretty dry. But for this one, at least, I'm probably just going to make it to where it is actually where I mount my camera at. But I might buy another one of these in case if I do decide to put a fish finder on it. As of right now, I don't really see much of a need for it, but I'm sure that'll change. Then you just put it back, just kind of like how you had it. Put it in that little track back here, flip that latch over, pull this little piece on up over that, and then it's not going anywhere. So and then right here, you can actually put a catch board, and it is slotted for it. It's slotted for the smaller sized one, which is pretty handy, especially if you're on the river and you want to measure your catch. That is a perfect place to put it. This is for some of the Yak Attack mounts, these little grooves right here, so that's pretty handy. And then right here, this is where you can mount the anchor wizard. There's also another one on the other side if you want to mount it over there. So depending on where you want to put things, yeah, it's pretty flexible. The seat right here is really nice. I really like the seat too. The seats that they have, I think, are really comfortable, and it really does help my back, because I've been in some kayaks where the seats haven't been the greatest, so it's really important for me to be comfortable while I'm out in the water, and these seats really definitely do that. Then if you look right here, there's a handle if you want to grab it right here. And another thing that I really love about this boat is how many handles are on it, because you never really know where you're going to need to grab it whenever you're out on the river. Because there's one up front, there's two right here, there's one right there, and there's one behind. So that's 5 different places that you can grab it. And if you wanted to, you could also grab it by this up here if you needed to. So it is very nice to have that. So from earlier where I mentioned that you can have the rods and you can kind of have them in a specific place. If you look right here, this is where you can put those rod butts at that I was talking about earlier. And you can use the thing up at the front of the kayak where you can have your rod tips at. So it makes it really accessible if you're dragging it down the river, which is a very, very handy feature in my opinion. And then this right here, this is very interesting, and this was another reason why I decided to do this. Sometimes these kayaks that are designed for rivers don't really do great in very calm water, and has a trouble going straight sometimes because, you know, it's supposed to have like the current coming around it, and it's designed a specific way. Well, this boat right here has this little handle, and if you heard that, this right here dropped. So if I go and turn this handle again, it's no longer there. And then if I turn it, it really helps it track better in calm water. And also another thing about the boat underneath, on the front of the boat, it's designed to where you can go and like stop yourself on like a log or a rock. And it's meant to do this because you will end up doing that a lot whenever you're out on the river. So this is really nice to have. And it's designed to where you're actually supposed to do that. So it's not gonna get bad over time. Looking at the back of the boat, there's these tracks right here so you can mount like the Yak Attack attachments, depending on what exactly you're wanting to use, and you can really customize it depending on your needs and everything. So that's really nice. It's never a bad thing to have too many tracks. And there's this right here. If you have the Yak Attack Black Pack Pro, you can actually secure it if you're going down the river. So let's say if you flipped, you won't lose your crate, which is really nice. Because if I walk up to it here, you can see I can't really pick it up. It doesn't have that much give to it. So that is really nice to have. And then this little slot right here is where you can put your battery in case if you decide to motorize it, which is really handy. It's really nice that they designed it to where you can actually put it in here in this little groove and doesn't really have that much leeway to slide around. So that is really nice. And then back here at the back, you can put the motor back here if you wanted to, which is really handy if you decide to go with like a Torpedo or a Newport or any of those ones. This would be where you mount it, and you can run the wiring through here, which is really nice. And the handle on the back's pretty good, so it's a really good kayak in my opinion for the rivers. It doesn't weigh that much. It only weighs 85 pounds. It's 11 feet 9 inches. So it really is, in my opinion, the perfect river kayak. If you've been on the fence about getting this kayak, I'll have a link down below where you can get 10% off at Big Adventures. and I cannot wait to get this out on the water. I'm really excited about it. I wanted to make this video first before I actually got out on the water. You will be seeing me a lot in this boat this year, and you will be seeing me a lot back on the rivers, and I honestly cannot wait to get out in it. And I just wanted to give a huge shout out to Lucas at Big Adventures. He really helped me with deciding what kayak I needed for my needs. And if you go into Big Adventures, chances are you'll probably see him in there, and he will help you get in a kayak that suits your needs the best. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. And if you enjoyed the video, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. It really does help out the channel a bunch. And also, let me know in the comments section down below what your favorite feature was on this kayak. And I'll be doing a video here very soon where you'll see me out in this kayak on the river. So make sure you stay tuned for that. But anyways, guys, I'll see you guys next time. Have a good one.